At slope arms, note that the left elbow bends and the forearm is horizontal to the ground, the trigger guard moving to the collarbone. In the secure arms position, the weapon can be kept dry, the lock under the left armpit, the barrel angled down towards the ground so that the rain drops off the barrel remaining dry. First of all, shown at the normal speed from the shoulder arms, advance arms. And then we change angle and show you each movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this position, note that the weapon is held between the index finger and middle finger with the thumb across the top of the trigger guard. At the halt, the right hand is brought down. The moment the march starts, the right hand will be brought up and grips the small of the butt. From the shoulder arms to the trail, with the barrel angled up, preventing the ball rolling down the barrel. And then to go back to the shoulder, the movement is done in one movement back to the left shoulder. The weapon is turned through 90 degrees. It's then brought up to the poise with all the weight of the weapon in the right hand. This is the poise where the thumb of the left hand is equal to and equal height to the left eye. Number 3, the weapon is brought down to the present arms position. Note that the right foot moves to the rear of the left heel, forming a T. From the shoulder first to the trail. The weapon is held in the trail arms position for a count of 2. The weapon is then placed with the butt next to the right toe. This describes the difference between the Dundas regulation and the light infantry regulation for the order arms. In light infantry, the thumb is kept across the sling with the fingers down the side. We now demonstrate the Dundas position where the palm is held flat against the front of the sling with the fingers pointed down. It's one of the various distinctions between light infantry, as shown here, and Dundas, which was the earlier form with the palm on the sling. In one movement, first movement and the second movement and the third movement. Presenting arms by numbers at the advance arms position. 1, the weapon is raised slightly and grasped with the left hand. It turns through 90 degrees. 2, and brought to the poise. And 3, brought to the present arms position. The weapon is grasped in the left hand, the weapon slides to the order arms position, and the correct standard order arms position is attained. the stand at ease position, I previously described, the right foot moves 6 inches to the rear of the left heel, the weapon falls in to the right shoulder, and the hands cross in front of the body, right hand over left hand. If a caution is given, the weight is transferred to the left leg and the body braces up. And the normal attention position is regained. The weapon is brought to the left shoulder and the shoulder arms position attained. It is possible to stand at ease at the shoulder. Again, the right foot moves to the rear of the left heel and the hands cross across the butt of the weapon. On command, the attention position or carry arms position is again attained. Position, it is possible to stand at ease. Again, the right foot moves to the rear of the left heel and the hands cross over the trigger guard. This time the left hand over right hand, and the advance arms position can then be maintained. If the weapon has to be disposed of, the ground arms position can be given. The weapon is turned through 90 degrees so that the lock goes to the rear. A step forward with the left foot and the attention position is again attained. Assuming that the soldiers have been away and come back to resume their duties, the reverse is carried out, take up arms and one step forward with the left foot, and the weapon can be brought to the order arms or attention position. Starting from the present arms position, the weapon is slowly turned through 180 degrees. The muzzle is placed on the left shoe and a mournful position is attained. With a caution given, for example squad, company, the elbows are raised and the weapon is brought to the present arms position. Prepare to load. Load. The weapon is brought to the right hip and the pan flicked open. Handle cartridge. The cartridge is taken from the cartridge box. The end is bitten off. Prime. The pan is primed with a small amount of powder and the pan immediately closed. The cartridge is held tight between the thumb and right index finger. On the word bout, which is an abbreviation for cast about, notice that in this position the rear rank man has the weapon with the barrel pointing to the rear and the front rank men look directly at the chosen target. The weapon is held across the body with the butt against the left toe. Draw ramrods. The ramrod is removed, reversed and placed in the muzzle. Ram down cartridge. The cartridge is rammed down to the solid breech. And the order is given to return ramrods. Weapon now being loaded, the advance arms order is given and the weapon is brought to the advance arms position. There are two distinct differences for firing, for light infantry or for line infantry. The light infantry demonstration first. The weapon is brought to the right hip and immediately cocked. A half turn to the right places the right foot against the left heel. On present, a firm platform is established. giving volley fire, make ready, and the weapon is fired. You'll notice that the weapon is brought to the recover position, which immediately spoils the aim as the weapon is brought across the face. Present, the weapon is brought to the normal present position, again the feet interlock, providing a steady platform, and the volley is fired. The loading position for Dundas. The weapon is under the right armpit with the barrel pointed upwards and equal to the peak of the cap. Squad will fix bayonets, attention, advance, arms. The port arms order being given, the weapon is brought to the port arms position with the lock equal to and opposite to the breastbone, with the barrel crossing over the left shoulder. This is the position to be adopted when approaching the enemy with a view to a bayonet charge. When the words charge bayonets is given, the rear rank men remain at the port arms, whilst the front rank men charge bayonets. On the charge bayonets, the weapon is brought down to the charge bayonets position on the right side of the body, with the weapon drawn into the right hip and the bayonet point angled upwards. In repeating that, you'll notice that the rear rank men stay at the port arms, whilst only the front rank men charge bayonets, with the weapon at the full extent of the right arm on the right hip with the angle of the bayonet upward. Notice that the right foot is drawn behind the left heel to form a steady platform. When lunging forward, lunge forward, the left foot is thrown forward, the right foot remains. On recover, the charge bayonet position is attained.